Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about those parents who lied. They told me it would get easier as my children got older and they lied. So I'm here to tell you that it doesn't get easier as they get older. Whoa! It gets really hard. There's obviously some pluses as well, but it does not get easier. In my experience, there's my disclaimer, it might get easier for loads of you, might just be unlucky. So, here are the reasons why it doesn't get any easier as your children get older. My children will be 6 and 8 in a couple of weeks, and the issues become bigger as they get older, I kind of feel, and the guilt gets worse. Yeah, right, these are the reasons. Firstly, you start getting calls from school to say your child has not been nice to another child, or can we discuss their behaviour, or things like that. Now, we didn't really get this with my son, but when my daughter started school, we've been called into school quite a lot, sadly. Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail, but she has a couple of issues with controlling anger, and that's okay. You know, she's only 5 currently, and it's pretty hard to control things like that, so yeah. Secondly, linked in with that is backchat and bad behaviour. This year, particularly for my son, who's 7, the backchat is like almost constant. Like, I'll say something, he'll be like, yeah, but, and I'm like, no buts, you just do it, okay? I asked you to do it, you do it. That's like the end of the story, okay? You go do it because I asked you to. No, backchat. Homework gets harder. My son came back with a fractions thing the other day. Lost on me. Who knows how I got an economics degree, but the fractions confused me. I hasten to add, I'm not actually doing his homework for him, luckily for him, because it would all have been wrong. I would just like to know what they're doing and like the level they're at and that kind of stuff. You also have to let them go at this age, which is quite a hard thing to do as a parent. You'd think, given all the back chat and stuff, that it would be quite easy to let them go, but actually it's not, and you miss them, and that's totally screwed up, because I would love to like let them go and be happy about letting them go. All the clubs. They do so many things. My son does football, rugby, beavers, swimming, extra football club. There's just stuff all the time. You've got to remember it in your head or on your phone. You have to be there, you have to move and get there, and you have to watch, and you have to stand on freezing cold touch lines like shivering with a cup of tea, and you know, it's brilliant to watch them do sport, and it's brilliant that they want to do sport. All of that is brilliant. Sometimes watching the sport isn't good. Best thing is my daughter does karate, and I basically just sit and I read a book, because you're not allowed to watch them doing karate. It's all secret. So I sit and I read a book on a Saturday morning. So I'm always the first to offer to take her to karate because it's warm and dry and I get an hour to read a book. Woohoo! There's a plus. I don't recall friendships being such an issue when I was younger, but now there seems to be like friendships and bullying, and I don't like to throw the word bullying around because they're all really young and they're all finding their own way and they're trying to work out how to deal with things. And sometimes they don't do that in the right way, and sometimes they do it in the right way. But when they don't do it in the right way, we shouldn't come down on them like a ton of bricks. Which leads me nicely onto the last point, feeling like a failure. Oh my goodness, when they backchat to someone else, or they don't say please or thank you, or you hear back that they've been mean to another kid at school, you just feel like you're failing, like where did I go wrong? And you just feel like you've done the worst job in the world of raising these tiny humans. But then you have to remember that they're tiny humans, and tiny humans need to make mistakes. You know, children need to make mistakes in order to learn from them, and if they're not making mistakes, do they ever properly learn? I don't know. So feeling like a failure is like the mum guilt, just the guilt, and feeling like a failure is so hard. And especially when other parents think your child has done something, which potentially they have, potentially they haven't, the way they judge you and the way they see their child as, you know, like a saint, is really hard to take, and that is something I have found really, really difficult. There are some bonuses as they get older. Hooray, it's not all bad. You don't have to change the nappies. You don't have to go anywhere near the bum or wipe it or anything. That's completely up to them to do. They get their own breakfast. They can go out. You can have amazing conversations with these little people. They can tell you stuff they're learning, and they can show you how they're growing, and they can tell you how they're feeling, and they can tell you that they don't know what to do, and all of that kind of baby stuff, which is hard because you don't know what's wrong, is easier because you do know what's wrong, but then you have to try and navigate it in a way that helps them to deal with it, which is difficult. They can have great opinions. They can also have some pretty rubbish opinions, but they can have some brilliant opinions and some great input into conversations, and it's really nice to kind of get to that level where you're chatting and you're having fun and it's not so hard. One day my kids might listen to me without me asking 20 million times, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, sadly. So I hope this hasn't completely depressed you, and there are obviously bits that get easier, but there are bits that get harder, and the bits that get harder are the hardest to deal with, in my opinion. I guess your flaws are like highlighted as your children grow older, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't depressed you too much, sorry. If you have enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, then please subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Alright, bye.